Last year, a very influential film released. A film that really changed the landscape of movies as we know it. And what movie was that? Really take a nice long think. Some of you might say the Mario movie. Some of you might say Oppenheimer. But that's just fucking wrong. The answer is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Which is why today I'm here to review Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Hey, what's up guys? Barry B. Benson 2 here, back again with another video. Finally learning how to start videos correctly, am I right? So yeah, today's video, we are going to be doing another movie review. You might be thinking, Barry, why are you doing another movie review? I thought you were going to be doing like a rap battle or something. Well, I just saw the movie. I reviewed the first one, so I got to review the second one. And like, this video is already going to be 2 weeks late to the hype. And I don't want to push it off and make it 5 weeks late to the hype. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a big mess if I do that. So we're just going to do this video first, you know? Yeah, you know. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Like always, we're just going to split it up into some segments, you know, plot, characters, production, all sorts of shit, you know what I mean? We're going to have a fun time. And like you see, you might be thinking, Barry, why are you crying? Why have you been crying? Well, these tears, to give you an idea of what we're getting into, these tears aren't of sadness, they're of joy, okay? So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Stop right there. It is I, the evil version of you from like a different reality and stuff. Blueberry, yeah, that's my name, and I am here. Oh, it's you. Aren't you the guy from the Baldi's Basics iceberg video? Yeah, that's me. Anyways, let me explain my thing. You know. The whole reason why I'm here and stuff, my deep backstory. Why would I do that? No, what do you want? Why are you here? I have a video to make. Well, like, this is a movie review. Aren't you supposed to set up some bullshit plot with some bullshit character to extend the runtime and stuff? Now, like, I know today's not your birthday, because, you know, you're me, but, I don't care. Here, happy late birthday. Here's your present. Now, go far away from me and open it, and then come back whenever you're done, okay? Okay. Thanks, I guess. Bye. I'll be back. Good, he's gone. Now start the video already. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is a horror film that released on March 26th of this year. Well, I guess for anyone watching this in the far future, the year this video was made was 2024. So yeah, although the first movie was perceived very poorly, I gotta disagree with the people who said that. That doesn't mean we're just gonna write this movie off. After all, it does have a 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. So let's just hop right into it. Alright, so I went back during editing and looked, and it turns out the Rotten Tomatoes score updated, and now it's a 50, but whatever, it used to be 100. By the way, spoilers and stuff. Anyways, the plot kind of goes like this. Christopher Robin, after the events of the previous movie, is, he's not doing the best. Mainly because no one fucking believes him, that evil monsters from the woods murdered a bunch of girls, and he was almost one of their victims, and everyone thinks that he killed them. But, he's for some reason not put in prison or anything, even though the police have no reason not to believe he didn't kill them, but whatever. Anyways, Christopher Robin is basically just trying to live his normal life, and everyone's calling him like a serial killer and stuff. So you might be thinking, Barry, did you read the wrong movie plot or something? Because that has nothing to do with Winnie the Pooh murdering people. Well, that's because there's actually a couple plots to the movie. So I'll talk about the rest right now. So the other one has to do with Winnie the Pooh and his friends. After the events of the previous movie, the couple of people who do believe Christopher Robin go out into the woods and start destroying areas in the woods to find Winnie and Piglet. So they decide to go hide out with Owl and Tigger. Apparently they just decided to split off from them for some reason, and now they're grouping back up like homies. Anyways, whenever they group back up, they start living in this tree, and because, the people are destroying the woods, they're sick of it, so they just go out and start murdering people and murdering them, and that's it. They just start murdering people in the woods because they're sick of the woods getting destroyed. Well, also, Christopher Robin has a girlfriend, and she's like babysitting some kid. Also, there's another plot with Christopher Robin. Well, meanwhile, he's also trying to get his life back together. He's also having flashbacks and things to whenever his brother was taken away. And he's trying to figure out who did that, which it ends up being this janitor guy. And then he talks to him, and then the janitor guy drops some deep lore on him, which we'll get into in a minute. Does this sound bloated? Because you would be right. One of the biggest problems is the fact that they barely explore some of this stuff. Like, here's a good example. So remember how I talked about Janitor Guy and how he kidnapped Christopher Robin's brother, freaking FNAF movie wannabe plot? Anyways, Christopher Robin confronts him and he drops deep lore. That lore being that he kidnapped Christopher Robin's brother and then he and a bunch of other kids and then gave him to some scientist, at which scientists did experiments, turning this into freaking Ninja Turtles. And, yeah, that's it. His brother got science experiments done on him, and it turns out that his brother is actually Winnie the Pooh, and his brother's friends who also got kidnapped are the other animals, and that's how they're animal-human hybrids and stuff. And it turns out they were always evil and all sorts of things. Not only do they barely explore a lot of stuff, the biggest problem, the biggest one, is the fact that there's already an established story. A lot of this stuff really conflicts with things from the previous movie. Like, according to the previous movie, Christopher Robin and the animals were always cool, they were always nice to each other and stuff. So, how come, according to this movie, Winnie the Pooh was always bad and Christopher Robin just didn't notice or something? And in the previous movie, they never freaking mentioned Christopher Robin's brother who disappeared. Like, this movie, you can turn it into Ninja Turtles if you wanted to. If this was the first movie, go right ahead. But there's already an established plot to where now, too late, you can't make it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore. And plus, it makes no sense how they do it. I'm not like the science man, but how does he gene splice the kids when they're already alive? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. So, the characters, let's discuss them. One of the big issues with the movie is that a lot of the characters are kind of just one note. They don't really have much to them. Winnie the Pooh, serial killer. Owl, serial killer who flies. Tigger, serial killer who says naughty words. Christopher Robin, big loser. And Piglet dies. That's it. He just dies. And obviously that's a big problem. especially since the characters who aren't one note are kind of just not developed enough to have a personality to begin with. The only character who I can say isn't very one note is the kid that Christopher Robin's girlfriend is babysitting, which he is actually pretty funny. On the topic of him, can I just mention I hate the fact that they add that the movie, what happened in the previous movie, then turned into a movie, which is just cringe. I hate that. The only character who really gets more development over their stereotype other than him is Christopher Robin's, and whenever the movie starts, he's just big loser. And Christopher Robin's development I don't really care about, because although he develops by doing a bunch of selfless stuff to figure out what's up with Winnie the Pooh, I don't really care. Because Winnie the Pooh doesn't really mess with him until the end of the movie whenever he kills his parents. And before that, Winnie the Pooh just murders a bunch of random people. But I don't care because they're all just a bunch of cunts. Yeah, tons of the background characters are really unlikable. They're all just a bunch of assholes to Christopher Robin's. They make him lose his job. They make fun of him right to his face, calling him a serial killer. And they won't invite him to a party. So I don't care whenever they get murdered. As for the acting, it's fine. Most of the people are just kind of whatever, and the guy who plays Christopher Robin did way better than the guy who played him in the last movie. I know I didn't mention this segment earlier, but too bad, we're talking about pacing. The pacing is alright. Act 1 kind of drags for a bit, but Act 2 and Act 3 really pick up. And they both have a nice amount of time spent on them. That's it. Why'd I make this its own segment? The production is pretty good. Compared to the first movie, at least, it's way better. I can tell they put a lot of the money the first movie made into this one. And that double the budget thing definitely came through, even though I don't even know if that is actually true. I'll have to check. Anyways, as for the camera, it's the same. But the costumes are significantly better. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier with the characters and stuff, but last time, for the first movie, I mentioned that it just kind of looked like people in costumes. This time, all the characters look very good. None of them really look like people in costumes, except for Tigger. He just looks like some guy with a bloody shirt. He doesn't even really look like a tiger. Sorry. But other than that, the costumes are fantastic. Something that I can say isn't fantastic and didn't get an upgrade was the CGI, because the first movie didn't have any as far as I know. But yeah, the CGI is shit. If you watch this movie, you can tell what I'm talking about. Tigger's tail, his CGI, looks like ass. Ugh. But I can kind of forgive it, because this is clearly only their second movie, and the CGI wasn't in the first movie, so this is their first time. But yeah, that's it. Why is this part so short? The music. There isn't any. And if there is, it wasn't particularly notable. Originally, I was going to play the Ballad of Heisenberg in the background for this part, but I realized it was too short, and I wasn't going to get a 2-minute song for a 30-second part. So, because of that, anyone who wanted to hear that, here you go, if you can hear this.
La ciudad se llama Du, Nuevo México, el estado.
Now, I know I did a lot of bitching in this video, but that's why I am. Anyways, will I call Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 a bad movie? Of course not. It's a great movie. The first movie, like I said, I loved it for ironic reasons, and this movie is the same. Like I said last time, it doesn't achieve its goals at being scary, but it's still entertaining. And entertainment is what I came for, and entertainment is what I got. I will say though, this movie does get closer to its goals way better compared to the first one, which is why I'm giving Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 like an 8 out of 10. Wow, that's it. That's a pretty anticlimactic ending, like the music's just gonna fade out and everything. Wow, that's pretty stupid. Whatever, if you need me, I'm gonna go listen to The Entertainer. Yeah, that's a music reference for you. Am I on your level now, music nerds? Yeah, I think that's it for the video. Bye, I guess. Hey, I'm back. God damn it.